Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to our Sonic Hacking Contest 2018 coverage. In this episode, we're taking a look at Hidden Palace Adventure by Super Egg. Now, this is an attempt at bringing over Hidden Palace into Sonic 1. So we've got one act of Hidden Palace that looks like the beta version of the stage, and the second act is based on the Sonic and Knuckles version of the stage. And it's sort of embedded in amongst Sonic 1's stage layout. So you play one act of Green Hill, I don't know why one act, and it's the last stage, and then you get a boss battle. And then you move into the two acts of Hidden Palace, again with their own boss battles. And then the final stage is Final Zone from Sonic 1. So it's like a really hyper-condensed version of Sonic 1 with two different stages. Very, very odd. I don't know why they've gone for that. But yeah, the big focus here is the fact that they've added Hidden Palace Zone into Sonic 1 and two different versions of it from two different Sonic games. The engine itself seems to be a Sonic 1 build, but Hidden Palace obviously comes from the beta version of Sonic 2, and the Hidden Palace in Sonic and Knuckles comes from obviously Sonic and Knuckles. So that's quite impressive that they've managed to sort of transpose them into Sonic 1. And they've completed the Sonic 2 beta version of Hidden Palace. So it's a completable stage with its own boss, which is quite interesting. It's not particularly well designed, unfortunately. It suffers from the same thing that the original version in the beta version of Sonic 2 does, and that it's just kind of haphazard. It feels very slapdash. It doesn't feel like there's any real flow to the stage, unfortunately, which is a weakness, unfortunately. But yeah, it's completable, it's perfectly playable, it's just not the world's greatest stage, let's put it that way. And then the Sonic and Knuckles version of Hidden Palace is very much that version. It's just that they've changed the battle with Knuckles to be a standard Robotnik sort of Marble Zone boss battle, and then that's it. You don't really have another battle with Robotnik at all. Because there's a section where you go along by the emeralds, and normally you have a little bit of a fight with him in a cutscene there, but yeah, that doesn't really happen in this version. So yeah, it's a bit empty, this hack, unfortunately. There's not really much to sort of sing the praises of, you know. There's just not enough here. I do have a bit of nostalgia for the old Hidden Palace in Sonic 2 beta. I think it's cool when people muck around with that tile set and make a stage out of it. But it's been done loads and loads of times now, and by lots of other different hacks, and better by those hacks as well. I mean, if you want a good example, it's actually been officially sanctioned now. You can get the iOS version of Sonic 2, and there is a version of Hidden Palace in there that you can complete and finish, and it's designed really well, you know, because it has Christian Whitehead behind it, essentially. But yeah, this one is very lacking, not particularly exciting to play, and the second act of Hidden Palace in Sonic and Knuckles is just so empty and pointless. It just doesn't feel really necessary. So there's really not much I can really say about this. It feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity. I don't know what they were going for. Is it literally just a hack where they get Hidden Palace working in Sonic 1? And if so, you know, they're not doing a particularly interesting job with it. I think if they designed two interesting expanded stages that flowed nice and, you know, got that nice balance between the old platforming and speed, then it might have been something worth checking out. But at the moment, it just feels very sort of haphazard, very sort of thrown together at the last minute. And yeah, it's difficult to be passionate about, unfortunately. I can't really recommend it. It's, like I say, just a bit empty, a bit rushed, and I certainly wouldn't come back to it anytime soon. I think if they're going to work on this for a future demo, I think they definitely need to work on the stage design, expand the second act, and just make it feel like more of a traditional 16-bit Sonic experience, you know, that nice balance between platforming and speed, and make the full stage out of both, you know. At the moment, they're just lacking, very sort of janky, just doesn't feel like it's worth your time at this current stage.